to the clip. Awesome. Thank you guys for joining. This is the first SIG control plane meeting in quite a while. Unfortunately, I think we've missed three, so over 6 weeks, due to PTO, on-site meetings, a European heat wave that meant I ended up looking after my children 2 weeks ago instead of attending this meeting. So it's been a bit of a nightmare. So apologies for the gap and for things not proceeding. I will put the notes into the chat. If I can find the chat, where has the chat gone? The chat is completely hidden to me now. There it is. There we go. The agenda today will be very, very short. I've just listed out a few things that PRs and VEPs and things that I just want to quickly go over, but predominantly the kind of standing up of the SIG is still blocked by the fact that we don't have any formal approvers at the moment. We do have reviewers and we have the labeling all set up for paths that we are interested in, but until we have approvers, you know, this does the SIG really exist until we have that in place? I'm not sure. So Luvo is obviously out this week, unfortunately. Back in April when we were talking about it in the PR, he had agreed to put his name forward as the initial approver and to then potentially nominate myself and maybe other people as well to help populate the SIG and to get it kind of going, but that hasn't happened. So when he is back next week, I will be talking to him about that and potentially the wider kind of maintenance group about how we kind of move forward with this. Because yeah, it's taken way too long. Obviously, missing 6 weeks of meetings does not help, but there we go. So yeah, that's the kind of plan of action there. Hopefully, we can start moving forward. So yeah, that's a link back to the previous discussions that we had in April. Yeah, don't know if there's anything to really comment on there, but yeah, that's kind of where we are. Looking forward to 1.10. I've just listed VEPs that I think are related to the group here. Not all of them have SIG control plane as a label at the moment. I'm more than happy to go through and add the label. There's obviously no enforcement of the label or anything at the moment, and I don't think there's even a directory for SIG control plane in the repo outside of I think one of my PRs might introduce it or something, but that hasn't merged yet. So yeah, I might propose it on a few things, see if we get any pushback. But yeah, again, until we have approvers, until we have the mandate kind of fully fleshed out and everything, this is all, I don't know, it's just informal. So yeah, if there's anything else that comes up or anything else in this list now that you think we should add, yeah, feel free to add it to the list or bring it up in future meetings as we get closer to vet freeze and everything. But yeah, there's quite a lot in there already and some interesting topics. So yeah, I'll try and come back to them every 2 weeks as we get closer to vet freeze and see what, if anything, we can do to kind of help move them forward. I've listed out a load of PRs that are needing either, well, yeah, mostly review and approval that are labeled with the SIG control plane label at the moment. So on paths that the PR from April had kind of identified as areas that the SIG would be interested in going forward. I think this has pretty much stayed the same since the previous call. A lot of these things are kind of quite long-standing PRs, unfortunately, and it's the same with bug triage as well. There's a bug open since March and a bug open since January. I did look at the workload update controller deadlock issue briefly before the call, and I'm going to take a quick go at fixing it after the call now because it seems relatively trivial. But yeah, again, with this call going forward, I'm going to try and get into the pattern of just looking at things that have been labeled, and trying to kind of move them forward over time. The rest of the agenda, again, it's semi-generated and semi me copy pasting things around, but the only ongoing efforts that I'm aware of at the moment are the controller decoupling effort that we previously started way back when, that has some additional PRs that have come up in the last couple of weeks. I haven't got to any of these, I don't think, on the storage side. But yeah, folks have continued working on that. That's nice. The operator linting effort that we had as well. There's been an external contribution back in May to that, but none of these have yet merged. They've been at the very bottom of my PR queue, unfortunately. And I think one of them even needs a rebase now. That's sad, but um, yeah, if when we get Lubo and other people, hopefully with approval rights, hopefully things like this can start to merge because they have been relatively stable, I think, for a while. Yeah, this has an LCTM but needs a rebase. That's what else we got. Yeah, this is LGTM. It just needs an approval review. So yeah, there's a backlog of that stuff that we could potentially get through quite quickly once we have that approval in place. Um, Obviously, it's not that important, so I didn't want to chase people around code freeze or the later stages of the 1.9 release for things like that as well. Um, the other thing that I've tagged under here is this env test framework POC stuff that I've been looking at. Um, it's very draft. This will be associated with a VEP at some point, but yeah, the idea here is that a lot of the not a lot, but there's a subset of functional end-to-end tests that I think we can remove and test through an env test framework in process locally, but um, you know, much more efficiently, quickly, um, and just in a more kind of focused pattern as opposed to having to stand up an entire cluster and deploy everything just to kind of assert, you know, simple controller behaviors, multi-controller behaviors, even the API behaviors and validations and things like that. That's all possible with mtest. The POC branch here is a collection of ideas and examples that I've been working through while I've been kind of working on the VEP. So things from regression tests that introduce like assert the bad behavior of I think this is yeah of control logic and then fix it with a following commit, to the generation tracking stuff that Eddie was talking about earlier in the week, admission stuff, cell validations. The libvirt stuff is yeah that's a bit of it. That's a far reach, but that's potentially eventually possible with this as well. Um, there was an issue that came up with the workload update controller this week, and again tested it with that. And the final one is ripping out like all of the instance type functional tests and turning them into EMS tests because yeah, they're not needed there. So yeah, if you guys have time, feel free to take a look at the POC and the VEP, and feedback would be appreciated. I think for this group that is focusing on the control plane and thus controllers and their behaviors and bugs, something like this would be useful because I think I mentioned it in the PR, but for the instance types tests, I removed 8 tests that in the SIG compute lane, we're taking like 152 seconds to complete, and then in M test they take 11 seconds. So yeah, there's big wins potentially available to us here. Uh, oh, sorry, I'm going back to the meeting notes. So Jed, did you say the this bug is not a good first issue? Is it actually labeled as that?
I don't know. The document says good first issue. Oh yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so it's listed there. We can probably remove it if you don't think it is. Um, did the bot put that on there? No,
Maybe
it's not
maybe I
did.
did because oh yeah, because initially yes, it was a pretty simple thing to tackle, but I don't know why people are going crazy saying we shouldn't do that. I don't know. I kind of stopped trying there.
Ah, okay. It's a good first issue if you can get everyone to agree
Yeah.
first. Good luck. Okay. Uh, yeah, I'm not going to touch that bug then, just in case I just wake up the hornet's nest again. Um, okay, doke. I think that was it for ongoing efforts. There's some other notable stuff that's landed here. I don't think these are actually labeled with. Oh, they are labeled with control plane. So these are unreviewed new things. So I'm personally going to try and find some time to go through these before the next call because there's some interesting stuff in there. I don't think any of this has landed yet. I just want to. Oh no, it has. That's a backport. No. Oh right, yeah, because the bot merged it. Sorry, I got really confused there. I have looked at that as well. Okay, cool. Um, Forgetting what I've actually looked at or not looked at yet. I did talk to Fan about this one. And I'm not sharing my tab anymore because reasons. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, an interesting set of things to potentially look at apart from this one that's already landed. Um, cool. That's everything I had for today. I didn't have anything for open discussion or anything. I don't suppose either of you guys have anything. If you do, now's your time. If there's anything at the top of your mind,
Do you have a list of directories the SIG is going to own?
we do in the original PR change in this one. It is. Oh, yeah, sorry. It's right there in the description before I click. So yeah, these paths. Um, I'll put it in the chat as well, the PR link.
Thank you. Are they already owned?
They are owned, but the aliases for the group are empty for approvers. And then we have this set of reviewers at the moment.
Right. Thank you.
And I'm forgetting who actually approved this. I feel like where's the approval gone? Is it hidden in the comment? No. So yeah, Lubo did approve this as a maintainer, I guess, but yeah, he's also part of this group, so maybe we should have got Vidic to do it. But um, yeah, that's it at the moment. It's very subject to change and welcome to change. Like if there's paths that we've higher level paths that we've claimed that stamp over um, some other SIGs kind of extracted logic or something. If this breaks anything for network, for example, then please let us know. We're not trying to claim ownership over SIG specific implementations or anything like that. We're just trying to help out spread the burden, so that these paths don't end up under root approval unnecessarily. If we can build a group that are interested in maintaining this stuff, then yeah, we're just trying to help, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that would be great. I think the SIG should own the skeleton, and the compute network and storage should own the actual.
Yep. Yeah, and I think it's called out here as well. So if there are SIG specific subdirectories, you can just completely claim them with the no parent owners option as well, so that SIG control plane doesn't automatically just get approval rights in them. That I think is valid. Definitely, if they're in these directories that I think for network you've mostly extracted things outside of that, but maybe for other SIGs that's important for storage and stuff like that carry them in those paths.
Yes, there is a ton of storage for this.
Yeah, yeah. We've spoken about potentially helping them, and like that is part of this effort as well with the decoupling tracker, to try and help them kind of extract as well where possible. So yeah, it's all good. Okie doke. All right, guys, thank you for joining. Hopefully I will see everyone in 2 weeks with some more people. I will make a bit more of a bit more noise upstream about this in the next 2 weeks as well, just to see if we can get some more folks from the community joining and participating, as well as more folks from downstream at Red Hat who I know should be participating, but probably missed the fact that this was actually happening as a change from not being cancelled. So anyway, thanks guys. Have a great weekend if you're off on a weekend, and yeah, thanks all for joining. Catch you next time.
Thanks, bye.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.